We'll be fine next week. It'll be fun.
So I think Ashley just joined. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, she's on mute.
Okay, hold on.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for doing this. We're so excited to hear from you.
Yes, thank you.
I see Alexis is on an airplane. That's funny.
Commitments. Only certain people on our team were invited to this call, the ones that are pushing for Diamond. So we kept it small, but I am recording it. So we have it for others pushing for Diamond in the future. But thank you so much. My name is Melissa, by the way. Thank you for being on our call. We never met before.
Yay, you're welcome.
Ashley's.
I'm gonna introduce Ashley, and then we'll get started. I think we're waiting for one person, but they'll just join in when they join. Mm-hmm. So I met Ashley in LA on the leadership conference, and we just hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. Virtual friends. She's a 6-star diamond in her first CBC, a 3-star in her boyfriend's CBC, diamond in her second. She's top 12, which is amazing. 6-figure earner, SC10 legend, retired teacher, because I know we have some teachers on here who are coming on, and she's a premier 2018. So we're lucky to have her and so thankful that you took the time to chat with us.
Yay. Okay, so you said this is for up-and-coming leaders, soon-to-be diamonds, right?
Yes.
All right, so tonight I'm going to talk about, I'm a big picture kind of girl. I love mindset and vision, so I'm going to kind of talk about how to change your mind in order to change your business. But first, before I do that, I want to introduce who I am. Like Ashley said, I am a retired teacher. I wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I was made for it. If you could find the person who wanted to teach more than anybody, it was me. I grew up with my mentally challenged uncle. My mom raised him with me. Never know anything, without him. And as I was learning to read and write, in kindergarten and first grade, I was bringing it home and I was teaching him how to read and write. And so that kind of laid the foundation for why I fell so in love with literacy. And I never changed my mind. I wanted to be a teacher my entire life. And so I got into, I got my undergrad degree in elementary education. I fell in love with Tyler, who now we've been together for 5 years, picked up my entire life and moved to Maryland to be with him. And I fell into a teaching job. I also got my master's to be a reading specialist. So I fell into a teaching job and I got there and I was like, this is what I've been looking forward to for the last 20 years of my life. I was 21 years old. I was teaching first grade. I had cockroaches in my classroom. I was just surrounded by burnt out teachers. I was looking around and all these women just didn't want to be there, but it was just normal. They were just waiting until they were able to retire. And it was taking a toll on me, and I was going to school. I was driving an hour to school, and I was going to grad school 3 nights a week. I was driving an hour to grad school and then an hour home, and I was living in my boyfriend's parents' basement. So you can tell that over time, just for month after month after month was just taking a toll on me as a human being, and my cup was so empty. I had nothing defining Ashley, who I was as a human being. And so March of 2015, I was laying in bed and I was laying in bed with Tyler and I saw on my Instagram, I didn't have a Facebook at the time, it was just my Instagram, my childhood friend Caitlin, she posted a before and after photo and I was like, Ty, she looks like me on the left and I want to look like her on the right. How do I do this? And that post, I'll never forget that post till the day that I die. She was transparent enough to show me what I was capable of. I got to see my story inside of her. And because of that, I've been able to change hundreds and thousands of people's lives because she changed mine, because she showed me what I was capable of. So I reached out to her. I changed my life with 21 Day Fix. I knew that no matter how busy I was, no matter my teaching job, no matter going to grad school, no matter house shopping, no matter what, living in my boyfriend's parents' basement, no matter what, this became my outlet. And while the outside world is so out of my control, teaching in grad school and relationships are so out of my control, this business and my health became the one thing that was fully in my control. And I knew that I couldn't let that go. And so, yeah, I shouldn't have taken anything else on my plate, and whenever I talk to busy people, I'm like, of course, don't put anything else on your plate, but look at it as an outlet. Look at it, as a way to transform you to be the very best teacher, doctor, accountant, nurse that you can be, because you're putting you first. Why are you even a teacher, an accountant, a doctor, if you can't focus on yourself first? And that's how I got started. In the first 5 months, we ended up we had a 2-year plan. Like in 2 years, we will buy a house. And in 5 months, we saved enough money to basically put a hefty down payment on our house that we live in today. And I graduated, or I didn't graduate. I did graduate my master's eventually, but I retired from my teaching job at 23, just 13 months into the business when I matched my income, and then ever since, and the rest is history. So that's a little bit about me. Do you want me to jump right into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So as a true teacher would, I have a PowerPoint. So this is something I'm super passionate about. Change your mind in order to change, or change your mindset in order to change your mind, in order to change your business. So I kind of want to take you guys through 2016. Sorry you get to see all my tabs. But I want to take you guys to 2016 because it was the year that I quit my teaching job and I lost sight of who I was. I thought that, because I had this quick success and I was hitting goals and I was doing the things, that I was going to be able to quit my job and all the success would come toward me. And I quit my job and I expected that. I fell into vacation mode from June, the last day of school in June, to like August. I was in full vacation mode and I took a plummet in my business. At that point, I was literally taking anything with a pulse. I would get somebody in the door and I couldn't relate to them. I was looking for like this perfect version of who I was, and I didn't have the belief in my core anymore. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was literally doing it to make money because I had to support myself. And so I really had to change my mind. I really had to translate this mindset, or this money mentality, into, well, what got me started? What really changed my life, and how am I going to help the other Ashleys of the world? I don't want to take the people I can't relate to. Like, I can't relate to already fit people. I can't relate to like yogis and stuff like that, because that's not who I was. I was pushing 200 pounds. Like, I just needed somebody to be my cheerleader, and that's the type of person that I look for in my business. And so when you really start to hone in on who it is that you're looking for, it becomes so fluid. So like I said, you got to pinpoint what it is that got you started. So if you have like a pen out, or even if you want to put it in the chat here, I love reading these, why? For me, I just told you my story. I needed to fill my cup, my empty, broken, and bruised cup. I needed something for Ashley again. And so I think about who I was. I was struggling in a career. I was going to grad school. I was just busy beyond belief, but I had nothing, I had nothing pouring back into my cup at the end of each day. I was pulling from it and pulling from it and pulling from it. I had nothing going back into it. And so I needed something like that. And so you've got to pinpoint what it is that got you started. And so I'll give you like 30 seconds. I'm going to try to chug my Shakeology because I'm hungry. But put in the chat what it is that got you started. Who were you? And if you guys saw my video on the Beachbody Champions page, I talked a little bit about this too. New mom that needed to lose weight and find a tribe. Yes. And there are so many moms who need an outlet. Love it. Okay. So once you really have what it is that got you started, you know who you're talking to. You now know the tribe that you can attract. And when you're making, like, that's your avatar right there. Like, we can go and like create the name and create the age and create the gender and create the this and the that. But really, guys, if you want to create an avatar and create the human being that you need to talk to each day, it's you, pre-Beachbody. And when you're developing your post, speak to her or him, her, because that's just going to make your post make so much more sense. You're going to filter out the people who you don't need in your tribe, and you're going to hone in on the ones who really resonate with you. Okay. And pinpoint what it is that keeps you going. So you're going to find two different types of people. You might find people, you're going to want to really hone in on the people pre-Beachbody, but they're going to need to see you continuously show up, and you're going to need to continuously show them what keeps you going. Like, you know, is it the tribe of women? Is it the fact that you just needed an extra accountability? Is it because you are drowning in college debt? Like, that's my life. My biggest why is to pay off my college debt. Is it because, you know, you really just need to look hot for your wedding? Like, what is it that keeps you going? Because that is also part of your tribe. Like, I find so many women who really want to change their lives. Like, that's one part of me, but the other part of women is they want to pay off their college debt. They want to build their dream house. They want to, you know, be able to go shopping all the time. And so make sure you're speaking to both of, you know, how you got started and where you're going in this business, who you are becoming. And my favorite quote, people want to join the people who know where they're going. Like, Brady Leggett was on my team call the other night. She said this quote, and I will never forget it. She said, light up your 10-foot zone. If you can just light up the people who come into your zone and just show them like that you're not going anywhere and that they can be lights with you. Like, I always think about it as a fly. Like, flies go toward the light. Like, they want to be in the light. And that's what you want to be. You want to be this light, and you want to attract these incredible flies towards you and just light up their zone. But people want to join people who know where they're going. Like, I would never get on a train that doesn't have a destination. I'm going to join the coach who has shown me her, you know, like my coach Caitlin, show me where she's coming from. Show me, you know, what she's capable of. Show me her struggles and her strengths and her, you know, her weirdness, her quirkiness. Like, show me every single piece of who she is, because that's who I want to join. I want to join the person that I can trust. And I always say this to my girls, like 9 times out of 10, if I have a coach tell me like, you know, I'm not having a lot of success this month. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, rate your nutrition on a scale from 1 to 10. And then if they give it like a 6, I'm like, well, there you go. Do you think anybody's going to want to join you if you're eating hot dogs every night for dinner? No. Or I'm like, rate your workouts on a scale from 1 to 10. And they're like, oh, I did 2 this week. I'm like, exactly. People don't want to join people who show up when it's good for them. People want to join the people who are going to show up every day, because, you know, they want to have that trust. If they see you showing up every single day to yourself, they know you're going to show up every single day to them. And that's what I always think about. Okay. And tell your story. So one of my downline coaches, like I call her my great grandbaby coach, she had messaged her coach and she was like, okay, has actually always been really good at talking on camera. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, no, you got to check this video out. And I went into my YouTube channel all the way down, and I found this very first video I ever made. And it was just like, it's hilarious. This isn't playable, but I wouldn't play it anyway because it's so embarrassing. But it's just like me, like, yeah, like I couldn't have even like showered to make a training video. But in 2015, like I needed to be her in order to be who I am today. And I just recently chopped my hair off, but you know, I needed to be this person because every video that I made, every like obstacle I had to jump over, every failure I went through has molded me to be, I can't even say you know, a top coach in the network, because I had to dream. I had to believe that I could be there. I had to believe that I could, you know, be a 6-figure earner in this or that. And I needed to be her in order to be who I am today. So tell your story. Tell your story. Okay, so I'm an analogy queen. I was doing a call like a couple months ago, and this analogy just kind of came out of my life, or out of my mouth. But when I kind of think about it like this, when I was a teacher, and it's really in any career, we are like so forced to live in a sheltered hut where we can't really dream. So for me personally, I'd be at a capped income forever. I'd always have one vacation a year. I'll always have, you know, just like structure, normalcy, right? And I lived in this sheltered hut where I couldn't really dream. And when this business came into my life, like I told you, like I was able to really create a substantial amount of money to put down a down payment on my house. And this business allows us to dream again. And if there is any like strength that I have in my business, it's to get my girls to dream. Like, just like let them just spew out all the things they want to accomplish. And so picture yourself at the base of an escalator. Like this comes from my upline. I don't know if you guys know, my upline is Pat Reelman. But picture you guys are at the base of an escalator, right? And you're looking up at this escalator, and it's coming back down towards you, and you step on it. And if it's coming back down towards you, if you just take one step, it's going to push you back down to the base. But you take a step on this escalator and you start building momentum. Momentum in the form of sending invites. Momentum in the form of sharing your journey like wildfire. Momentum in the form of, just being obsessed with your journey and changing lives and doing it every single day. And you have something so big and bold and beautiful up there waiting at the top for you. And so whatever that is, whatever your why is, like at first my why was to pay off to be able to pay my car payment with Beachbody. And then that evolved into being able to put away my entire teaching income. And then it evolved into matching my teaching income. And whatever it is for you, whatever that why is waiting for you up there, if this escalator is declining and you're working against it, you can't just take a break and expect that, you take a whole week off or a whole 2 weeks off or a whole month off and that you're going to wake up the exact same place you did just because you felt like taking a break. There's no breaks in this business because it's your outlet. It's not another something on your plate. But you've got to build this traction up this escalator, because if you take a break, it's going to push you back down toward the base, and then you're going to have to rebuild that traction. You're going to have to rebuild that momentum, and that's no fun. We've all done it. It's no fun at all. So move out of this little sheltered hut where you can't dream. Get out of your comfort zone and pack your bags and move into this mansion where you can just dream and picture yourself where you want to be in a year from now, where you want to be in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and build action steps to get you there. I always kind of ask my girls, are you a walker, are you a runner, or are you a sprinter? Like, what do you want to accomplish? If they're like, oh, I want to make $1,000 by the end of the year, I'm like, okay, so you're not even past the finish line. Let's think about some bigger goals, or not even past the starting line. Let's think about some bigger goals. And then they say, okay, well, I didn't even realize I could do that. I'm like, yeah, sister, this business, you are capable of so much more in this business. It's just about understanding what you can accomplish and then setting action steps to get you there. And that's why I love one-on-one calls, getting started right calls. Okay. So, I always thought, following Amy Silverman and following Bonnie Engel, that in order to be a top coach, in order to make money in this business, you had to have 1 trillion followers. You had to be hitting Success Club 500. You had to be doing this. You had to be doing that. And it's not true. You just need to find your true followers and utilize them. Really build rock solid relationships with them. At the beginning of this year, I started with 2,000 followers, I think, on Instagram, but I knew that I was growing that organically, and those followers that I had were following me. And so I remember I spoke live at a team retreat, and another coach on my team was like, Ashley, how many people do you have watching your Instagram story? And I had 2,100 followers, and I had about 1,200 people watching my story. And she had 60,000 followers, and she only had 500 people watching her story. It's about building authenticity. Yeah, that's right. Authenticity with the girls who are watching you, so that, it doesn't matter about having 90,000 followers and just getting lucky with those people. Hone in on those few that follow you. Of course, grow that organically, but hone in on who they are. And if you talk to everybody, you're going to talk to nobody. So just talk to that person. Talk to who you were pre-Beachbody and where they're going, where you're going. Okay. So in order to do that, you really have to develop your top 5 things. So this is one of the things I do with my new coaches. And once they really establish, first of all, who they're talking to, who they were pre-Beachbody, and then establishing the 5 things that make them them, social media becomes a breeze. So figuring out your 5 things. So I want you guys to type it in the chat. But my 5 things are fashion, food, fitness, dog mom, and mindset, business mindset. And so whenever I'm struggling, oh, I'm not feeling motivational today, I always just think about these 5 things and I come up with something to post about, come up with something that my tribe wants to hear about. So let's say, for instance, fashion, foodie, fitness, dog mom, mindset. I probably have a lot of followers that just follow me for my makeup and hair and fashion. And probably some of those girls don't enjoy my food or fitness, and that's fine, but they're still a part of my tribe. Maybe people who follow me for fitness and food are super tomboys and don't care about my fashion, right? Or some people, maybe they love my dogs but can't stand anything else. That's fine. That's why it's so important to share all 5 and not allow Beachbody to take the front seat of everything, because you're going to lose a lot of people that way. If the worst thing you could do is come into this business and hide behind the brand of Beachbody, because it's saturated. Beachbody has an incredible amount of, they have their own marketing, and they're incredible at that. Carl Dickler did network marketing so that he could get his hands on more people by others building relationships. The beauty of network marketing, right? And so we can't hide behind the brand itself. We have to brand ourselves and then show them on the back end, hey, by the way, this thing changed my life. What do you think about doing it with us? And letting it change their lives too. So let your posting come naturally based on these 5 things. And so I also use, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of displaypurposes.com, but it's a hashtag. It like generates hashtags for you based on each of your 5 things. And so whenever you post, like let's say I post something about fashion, I'll get my 30 hashtags, like the 30 most utilized hashtags on fashion, food, okay? You know, and I just do those hashtags after every photo. Okay. And so if you have developed these 5 things and posting on social media and you're like, I'm still not having a lot of fluidity with posting, I kind of went through my social media one time. This is a PowerPoint that I use quite often, but I went through my social media one time and I pulled all of the things that I'm finding on my social media that I'm talking about often. And so if you guys want to screenshot this or if you want to just like, take a mental note, but some things that I am consistently posting about are, you know, things people know me for. The first thing if I'm talking to you, the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning, what type of clothes do you wear? Where do you shop? What type of activities do you do outside of Beachbody? Where do you work? Did you work? What does your family look like? Where do you crave to be in a year? What type of foods do you cook and don't you cook? What are your friends like? What is your favorite food? Do you have pets? Do you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse? How old are you? What is on your bucket list? What's your dream car? Where your dream vacation? And so this is what allows people to really connect with you on the front end. Nobody's ever going to connect with you because you have a cute sweaty selfie. They're going to connect with you because of the things that make you you. And so these are the front end things that you want to build relationships with and then continue to instill that trust with your followers through your Instagram story, through your authenticity, and just consistently having them follow you. All right. And then my last analogy is this hunter versus this gatherer. And so I heard this analogy right when I was starting as a coach, and it always stuck with me. But who we don't want to be in this business, we don't want to be this hunter where he literally has a prey and the only thing he is worried about is himself. He's only worried about making the kill so that he can have dinner. He's making the kill so he can have dinner. And consistently, as he's chasing after the prey, they are running away. There's nothing in it for them. And so and I'm sure you've had somebody come into your inbox who has this hunter mentality. And so you want to translate into being this gatherer. And so picture you have this giant field, and this is your business. These are all the endless opportunities in your business. Every post you make, every piece of kale that you eat, every workout that you do, every relationship that you build, every invite, everything, you are planting a seed in this garden of opportunities. And so you're planting these seeds, and you are, of course, they're not going to say yes right away. People aren't going to say yes right away. People aren't going to join somebody that they don't have any trust with. So it's silly to think you're going to come into this business and right away hit diamond in the first day, or you're right away going to hit Success Club in the first day. Some people do. Some people get lucky that way, but I didn't. I had to lay this trust by sharing my passion like wildfire, by being so obsessed with my journey that people trusted that I was going to be so obsessed with their journey. And so lay these seeds out. Consistently plant new seeds, but every single day you're coming back and watering the existing seeds, and you're watering them and you're nurturing them and you're giving them what they need to survive and thrive and grow. And some take much longer to grow. Some take years and years and years. Some of my best coaches took years to sign up, and that's totally cool because they're rock stars now, but they needed to see me succeed in order for me to show them what they're capable of. And so, you got to find those people. So the different ways that I find people on Instagram is friends of friends. So what I do is I go to, let's say like I know Sally's in my target market. So I'll go to Sally's Instagram and I will look at people who follow her, or I'll look at people who liked a recent photo of her. Like if there's a fashion photo or a dog photo, and I'll just follow a bunch of people. We do now have the app Captivate, which is awesome. But this is a way that if you wanted to do it manually yourself, this is how I've grown my Instagram a lot over the past couple of months, using hashtags like I had mentioned earlier, people that follow you. So, I'm a big advocate on sending invites. If you guys watch my my video in the Beachbody Champions page, I send a crap ton of invites every single day. This isn't strictly That's my binder right there, my inviting binder. And I send 65 invites every single day. And it takes 1 hour of my time, but that is like my focused, intense time of invites. I blast my girl pop and I just work and just send invites. And my girls do it because I do it. So I hit high Success Club numbers and it's easy to duplicate, and then they hit high Success Club numbers, and in turn, it brings me a lot of volume and they're growing their businesses because I'm doing it, because I have a system that works and it's easy to duplicate. They're doing those same things. That was a tangent. Anyway, find people who follow you. So if you go to your followers on Instagram, every day I'll like search a letter or a name. So today I did Taylor. So I looked at all the girls named Taylor or who had Taylor in their handle, and I invited all of them. And then like, let's say I don't have enough people to fill up 65 lines, I'll go to like Ashley and then invite them. And then if I get bored of doing that, I'll go over to who's watching my Instagram story and just filtering through those people and consistently sending invites. But if you're not actively following new people every single day and growing your Instagram organically, you are going to run out of people. So you want to make sure that you are growing your Instagram. Finding local businesses. I have this really cute acai bowl joint in Baltimore, and I always search people because it's the most beautiful bowls. I always search people who take photos of those bowls, and I follow a ton of them. And then I'm building my tribe locally, which is awesome. I've got a couple coaches that way. And then shared interests. So like, I always do like Tarte Cosmetics or, Beagle. I'm a Beagle mom, stuff like that. But that's how you can find them. All right, that's all I have.
Thank you so much. I think that was helpful for everyone, especially like the like how you grow and like invite every single day. Like I know people say they, power hour, but a power hour might consist of like a bunch of different things. And I think it's important that we focus on actually inviting and growing our social media. Like,
yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? If you do, you can just write them in the chat.
What are you
She
sending?
said, what are you sending when you send invites? So it's based on like when my boot camp starts. So I do a monthly marketing plan based on like the beginning of every month. I sit down and I determine what I want to do that month. So let's say my boot camp starts on the 14th of the month. The 2 weeks leading up to the 14th, I'm like heavy inviting to the boot camp, and I'm like the most simple inviter ever. I know that they're seeing my Instagram story. I know that they're seeing my posts. So I just say something like, hey, Ashley, I don't know what you have planned this month, but if I were to hook you up with a meal and workout plan, would you be down to join my May boot camp? Something like that. That would be like a new invite. If I come to somebody who I already invited like 3 weeks ago, I'll like pop them an emoji and be like, can't wait to hear from you, something like that. Or did you want to snag one of these last spots in my May boot camp? So let's say if my May boot camp comes, let's say it's November or May 17th, like now I'm just strictly inviting to like a nutrition. So now I'm just saying like, hey girl, if I were to host a June nutrition group for people who want to grow a healthy relationship with food, would you be down to hear more about it? And that's just plugging people into 2B Mindset. So I just build a monthly marketing plan and just invite based off of when you're going to do your groups.
And I post you guys every month a calendar of like when the challenge group's going to start, when the new training for new coaches is going to start, etc. Every month in like our Team Inspire page, there's a album of calendars. So like that's done for you if you want to like follow the team one, and of course you can do your own. Just like piggybacking off of that. Does anybody else have any questions? What do you guys feel like you're struggling with right now that's holding you back from Diamond? Maybe that's something that you want to ask, because most of you or all of you are like super close right now.
Yeah, I'm super close, but I'm struggling, I feel like, because I can't work out right now, or I'm not supposed to be. And so like I'm lacking like the sweaty selfie, and I'm just like so busy like doing stuff and work got crazy, like someone quit, and I'm like my workload at work got crazy. Like it just like it all happened at once, and so I feel like I'm not showing up enough to post. So I feel like I'm like throwing together meals, and I did go live about it, that I'm like, oh, I'm emptying my fridge and just like throwing things together. but I need to do that more. Like I need to make time for it. And I feel like that's what's stopping me because I was doing really well. And the only reason I hit SC10 this month was because of 2B, like 100%. So
I say use it to your advantage. I have so many girls who can't work out, whether they had surgery or just like use it to your advantage. Use 2B mindset as like your staple. And you don't have to post about it all the time. Post about it 3 times a week. Other than that, post about your work life. People don't care. People don't want to hear about it all week long. People don't want to see your food all week long. They want to hear about it here and there, but let them fall in love with you. Let them fall in love with your quirk, your little antics and stuff like that, your lifestyle. But definitely use it to your advantage because 2B mindset's already changed my life in 12 days.
Right.
And just let people feel that.
Yeah, like so many people out there that are just like you that can't work out maybe forever or maybe
or hate it
like you or just won't. Like, that's what this program's about. So you have that tool.
Yeah.
Melissa said you made her cry in the first 2 minutes of this.
And Melissa has my name. She logged in as me. And so every time she's typing, I'm like, what is happening? Like,
it's the other Melissa.
Yes, it's another Melissa.
Oh, I'm good.
And she's also a teacher, so she really connects with you.
Almost my entire team is teachers and nurses, and they all feel like overworked and underpaid.
Were most of your coaches challengers first, or do you just invite to the coach opportunity, and if so, how?
A lot of my coaches were challengers first, but I do a kick-ass 3-day coach sneak peek every month, so I get a ton of coaches out of there. I do. So I don't invite coaches. I never invite to the coaching opportunity. I don't ever show up and invite an actual written invite to somebody's inbox to the coaching opportunity. I publicly invite all the time. I talk about it all the time, but let's say I have a rockin' challenger 2 weeks into the program and she's crushing it. I'm like, of course she has to sign up to be a coach, and I'll talk to her about it. And if it comes up right before my coach sneak peek and they're like, I have so many questions, I'm like, okay girl, let me just plug you in this. But I talk about, so I host a coach sneak peek the second to last week of every month. I had my first night tonight, and I invite like crazy to that. Publicly, I talk about it for 7 straight days. I make really beautiful graphics, just make people want to be in it. So just plan it ahead of time. So tonight I shared my story. I'm going to share my 3-year income progression on Monday or on Wednesday. And so that's what people want to hear about all the time. People want to hear how much money I make. And so I just share little graphics and I blur out the money so that they have to go in there and get, private access to it. But I love getting all of the interested people in one spot because bring your energy, bring your passion, and it just allows them to answer questions, and you're just answering everything publicly. Also, something fun that I do in there is I do a giveaway. I give away a tank top that says Girl Boss, and they have to ask a question in order to be added to the hat. And then it gives me so many questions to go publicly and answer, and I don't pick out the hat until the end of the video. And so it's just incentives to get people to show up to you. And then you say something that they resonate with, and they're like, what? I didn't expect to like her, So yeah, it's fun. But more than likely, they are always challengers first, unless I get somebody who's just interested in the amount of money that I make and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember when I came back from leadership, when I was telling the girls about how I met you, and I was like, she doesn't invite all of our coaches. She usually are in a program or finishing a program or whatever before. And those make the best coaches.
And that's how I fell in love. So I just think it's so easy to duplicate.
Alyssa, we have not a template, but we have groups that we do the 3 days, and we talk about income one night, our why, and we have all that. So we can discuss that later. A lot of current challengers I send invites to either join BB, saying they're too busy to join, even when I know they'd be really great.
Just squash that objection publicly consistently. Your tribe, your certain tribe is going to get the same. You're going to get the constant same objections over time. Yeah. I get money, time, and nobody, and I don't want to be salesy. So I'm consistently squashing those objections over time to the point where I feel like I don't really even get any objections anymore. I more so get like ignored. But in my coach sneak peek, I do a full day of objections, just like, because I had a ton too. I had a bunch. Like, I didn't think anybody was going to want to take anything from me. But if you just you take every objection, let's say you get an objection on Monday night, write it down and build a post to post Friday morning or Sunday night. Because if Sally has this objection, Sue, Sam, and whoever are also going to have that objection too. So by posting it with a really beautiful photo of yourself, they're going to want to read the caption, and then you're helping them kind of like break through that objection little by little.
Any other questions, guys? Did we miss any? No?
Awesome.
I think that's it. Thank you.
Hey, awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for making the time for us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You. Bye.
Thank you.
Are we ending? Okay.